Hello, and welcome to Creating a Performance. Today we are diving into the creation of my client, Dallas Liu's performance in Netflix's 2024 series, Avatar: The Last Airbender. By the way, this is part 2 of this Creating a Performance. There are spoilers here, so if you haven't watched the first 6 episodes of the first season, please stop watching this now. As you know, my client, Dallas Liu, plays one of the 4 leads, Prince Zuko, Prince of the Fire Nation. Zuko is an anti-hero with a superpower. He can bend fire. In part 1 of this Creating a Performance, I discussed the 4 major extreme emotional themes that Zuko experiences throughout the series. When Dallas and I sat down to create the performance of Prince Zuko, we initially focused on Zuko's history and background. This is the focus of this part 2, the history and background of Prince Zuko's early private life. In episode 6, we are told the backstory of how young Prince Zuko went to his first war council under the impression that his father, Fire Lord Ozai, welcomed differing opinions. And much to his disappointment, he quickly received a lesson in politics and was made to feel foolish for his youthful exuberance in trying to save the 41st Division of the Fire Nation's Navy. Lord Ozai challenges Zuko to a duel to physically humble his son, which he does easily. Then, to make matters worse, he burns his son's face to always remind him that compassion is a sign of weakness. While in recovery for the burn and a wicked shoulder wound, Lord Ozai further lessens his son by banishing Zuko from the Fire Nation until he returns with the Avatar. Well, what family doesn't have their ups and downs? So, now Dallas and I were dealing with one heck of a history, with many large themes. We broke it down into the following 4. Character history theme number 1 is sacrifice. Probably the most central theme to the character's story and arc is the concept of sacrifice. Zuko sacrifices his youth, his family, his friends, his home, on a scale so large it's difficult to imagine. Dallas had to do a lot of work in imagining and aligning his personal understanding of sacrifice to Zuko's reality. Character history theme number 2 is loyalty. Zuko's level of loyalty is truly heartbreaking. In fact, one could argue that it was his loyalty to his father in the Fire Nation that got him in trouble in the first place. His loyal heart burns brightly through the entire story. Always a place that Zuko returns to in his inner consciousness, being loyal is a key cornerstone of understanding the deepest part of this character. Dallas is also a very loyal person. To his friends and family and business team, he is a very loyal young man. We leaned into this for him to align deeply with Zuko. Character history number 3 is the defiance of orders or treason. Now, as much as Zuko is loyal, he is also very defiant in his response to any administration that doesn't align with his deep sense of integrity. His defiance is why he fights to save the 41st Division. His defiance is why he doesn't hurt his father when he has the upper hand in the duel. His defiance is why he fights with Commander Zhao. Lord Ozai claims that Zuko is soft like his mother. Well, we had a great time turning that perceived softness into loyalty, integrity, and standing up for doing the right thing. And finally, character history theme number 4 is patience. One of the richest jewels in the emotional makeup of the character of Zuko is his incredible capacity for patience. It isn't easy for him, but he lives in a constant state of patience. He battles against it, as any young person would, but he is constantly pulled back in again and again throughout the story to a place of deep patience as he waits and fights his way to capturing the Avatar, and hopefully returning to his father's love. The experience of being a working actor in Hollywood is heavily loaded with the same ability to be patient. Ask any actor and they will say that patience is one of the most difficult aspects of building a career as an actor. You have to know how to be patient, but also not let the endless waiting dampen your art heart or distract you from being prepared at a moment's notice to be at your very best. After working out these 4 character history themes and the 4 extreme emotional themes we discussed in part 1 of this Creating a Performance, we then went to work on associating Dallas into the relationships he has that match those that Zuko has. So, for example, the sibling relationship with his sister, Princess Azula. Well, Dallas has a great brother, so that was an easy association at first. As things change in the relationship of Zuko and Azula, Dallas had to find a different influence than his own personal brother, who would most definitely not turn against his brother to help the evil Commander Zhao. When an actor has a difficult character to associate with, like Lord Ozai, that work is mostly going to be imagined. There is no one in Dallas's life anywhere near the evil that is Lord Ozai, thank goodness. So Dallas had a lot of imagination associating to make that relationship believable. We continued through every member of the cast, making associations for Dallas to deeply understand all of the characters and their relationships. And by the way, there is more information on the method of relationship building available in my book, The Actor's Mindset, from Applause Theater and Cinema Books, available on Amazon, Goodreads, and on Audible. The final piece of fun work that Dallas and I did on the role of Prince Zuko was to guard his performance from a major acting trap. And that trap would be to play Zuko with a single note of anger. If you've watched the original animated series, very much of the emotional note of Zuko is played with one note of extreme anger. One-note performances are boring, and that's why we do all of this work, to open up the performance to different emotional values and depths. The great key to Zuko having a great inner emotional life is his vulnerability. So we literally asked, as we went through the script scene by scene, how is Zuko vulnerable in this scene? Simply to open up Dallas to the fact that there are always different emotional qualities rolling through all of us, and certainly through a character as beautifully created as Prince Zuko. And just maybe, compassion isn't a sign of weakness, but strength. And a final inside secret for you. Being soft like your mother was also very helpful in this department. We added that vulnerability as much as we could to do the makeup of Zuko, along with his sacrifice, loyalty, defiance, and patience, to create a truly layered and complicated character mask. Because sometimes the mask is who we really are. I'm very proud of the work Dallas did on creating this performance. He did it his way, from his heart, and I believe he did it right. Avatar: The Last Airbender is now streaming on Netflix. I encourage you to take a break from our normal day-to-day life and escape into a magical, imaginary world full of adventure and danger and a lot of heart. Thanks for joining us on Creating a Performance.